Hey everybody, my name is Jenny Harkleroad. I am the owner of Balanced You, where business owners hire us to reprogram their minds for ultimate success. I'm here today with my business coach and dear friend, Jane M. Powers, and we are talking about creating more money and more time and more freedom. And I'm just going to jump right in and give a quick little story before I let Jane get a word in edgewise.
You promised you'd never tell that story. Okay.
I met Jane last year. She was speaking in San Diego, and she blew me away. My eyes were glued to her the whole talk. I couldn't imagine how she wrote something so intriguing. And then I found myself pushing others around me to get my credit card to her at the end of her talk. I'm like, what just happened? And I want that. So Jane, introduce yourself, and we're gonna just talk about how you do what you do and how others can be as successful as you. And we're gonna have some fun talking about business and building business today. So thanks for being here.
I am delighted. All right. So I am Jane Powers. Entrepreneurs hire me to speak with confidence and sell with authority because most are boring, confusing, and inconsistent. And I'm probably the only one who will tell them that. So I help them connect, capture, and close their ideal client. Bottom line, every time you open your mouth, you must be making money. And that's what I do. And Jenny, you were glued to success, I think, the day you came out of the womb. So it just takes tools to get you to the right answer of what you need. So I appreciate being able to hang out. We've been hanging out, what, a couple years almost now?
Year and a half, I think it is.
Oh, it feels like just yesterday.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I loved what you said. You're the only person brave enough to tell them, because when I first met you, you're like, hey, what do you do? And I said, I help people go from where they are to where they want to be. And I think you went, eh.
I was like,
oh, thanks. But it's true. You're like, oh, what does that mean? I'm not like, I don't understand. I'm not motivated to ask you more questions. And that's so important. So share how you get people to say things that intrigue people to grow their business.
Yeah, and here's the truth of the matter. People have a dream, they have a vision, they have a desire. They're like, oh my God, or they just don't want to work for somebody else. So they're like, I am going to be an entrepreneur. And it is not an industry that is very forgiving, to be honest with you. Because if you don't say the right thing to the right person at the right time with the right message, you are going to epically fail. And I don't mean fail like you'll make some money. People can make money. There's no doubt about that. It just depends how much you would like to make. And I don't make it all about the money, but it is certainly nice because it helps you afford to do more in your business. So when you have that vision, you have that dream, you've got to take the messaging and be able to articulate it clearly so that people will buy what you have. And most people start a business and they don't like to sell. So I make it easy by having a message that sells so you don't have to. Like, that's the beauty of the science of monetizing your message or turning what you've got, like Jenny said, I'm going to take you from where you are to where you want to go. Or people say, up level your life, up level your business, take it to the next level. We don't even know what that means. So articulating your message so clearly that it sells, that is the name of the game. And I don't care if you're speaking for 7 seconds or 7 hours.
Awesome. I love that. And I love how you teach a program of what to say. I mean, you even write talks. You wrote my speech. You wrote it.
Do you know why I do that? Do you know why people don't move as fast as I do? And I have no patience whatsoever. So, people can do it on their own and I can hand them, they can buy my digital program and then they never look at it or they get into it. And then I'm like, That drives me crazy. If you're going to do something and it's going to be I'm just going to do it for you. So anyhow, yes, that's all I want to do.
You know how to do it. I mean, I love that you just did it for me. And then, you know, I tweaked it to customize it a little to me, because we're not trying to be you, but we're trying to use your formula that creates huge success. I mean, you've created a couple multi-million-dollar businesses, right? And you've had, what, 30 years of speaking experience. So you know what you're doing. And so you take somebody like me, who I had success before in real estate, but now I'm in a new field where there's not so much like know-how, like how do I do this and how do I do it big, right? It's, yeah, like you said, anybody can do a business small, but how do you do it big? And a lot of it has to do with what you say and how you say it. So I tell people, working with you literally tripled my business in 3 months, just because I was saying the right thing. People understood what I was offering, and you taught me how to do that. So thank you.
Yes. And a lot of people, and quite frankly, everybody is networking out there in the world, and a lot of people are saying the same thing. Or, you know, you see individuals from stage. You know, if people are, my claim to fame is I had no website. I barely had a business card. I had, what else? I don't think I had anything. I had I think I used eye contact, which was a great program for me, but I had no systems. I had a talk, a handshake, and a smile. And I made 6 figures my very first year just by going out and speaking. Because quite frankly, what I found was one on many had an immediate return on my time and investment. But instead of chasing one person at a time, I thought, why wouldn't I just go speak to the masses, do it effectively, take my speaking background and my sales training background and my sales experience, mash it up, and come up with the right talk. And that's what has been happening. So when people would say, gosh, you need a website, I'm like, it sort of ruined my image. I didn't want to ruin that. My claim to fame was I don't need any of that. But right. Truth be told, you can get to a certain level without all that, but to supersede and get into the millions, you definitely need a balance in your business.
Yeah. And when you say speak, so there's a couple things that come up. One, some people are like, I would rather die than speak, fear. And that's something that I can probably talk to because of my specialty, reprogramming the mind and getting rid of those fears. But there's a couple other things, like, can any business owner go speak about their business, or is it a certain type of business owner that should be speaking about their business?
Well, and in my belief, any business owner, with the exception of certain, like my sister was one of my first coaching clients. She has 3 Dairy Queens in the Midwest. She wouldn't be going out and speaking on the joys of ice cream. Like, that probably isn't one, but you can speak while you're interacting with customers in a way that grows her business. So there are ways that you can do that. But are you going to go do videos, stand on a platform, get on a podcast, do an interview like this? Not every business will, but every business could. So it really depends upon what you are doing and where you're driving traffic. The reason I speak is obviously to serve and to sell my programs, but it's also to drive traffic to live events, because the live event is where the individuals spend time, like your event coming up, they spend time with you. That's where they get the greatest value. And that's where I'm able to provide the greatest service. So there are so many reasons. And when I say speak, you know this, Jenny, it's any platform. It's not just standing on a stage. It could be. And quite frankly, I have some of the most paranoid people that do not want to get on stage. And Jenny, this was before, I always tell the Heidi Mount story. This is before I would have sent her to you in a second. That woman, oh my, just talking about getting on stage, she would start crying. She would literally have a panic attack. I brought her to my event because she was a client, but she came up to me and she was crying, big modeless, beautiful gal. She's like, oh, I can't speak in public. I'm like, well, you are now. And she's like, no, you know what I mean? She hires me and she's like, I'll never be on stage. I'm like, why are you hiring me? She's like, because I need to be on stage. Anyhow, I bring her to my event. She literally stood on stage crying the whole time. That was it. And I said, please don't pay attention to Heidi doing exposure therapy. She is getting over stage fright. And Heidi delivered what is her infomercial, as I just delivered, Entrepreneurs Hire Me. And the crowd went nuts. And literally at that moment, she looked at me and said, I think I need to do this again.
Wow.
A year later, after working with me, she was flown down to Jamaica to stand in front of 300 people. Still nervous, but the woman created from 0 to 100 over multiple 6 figures in a year and a half. And this is someone who would not even, she wouldn't even speak on Marco Polo, the app where you,
what?
She's like, nope, I won't even get on Marco Polo. So the truth be told is, if you have the practical material that you need for your talk, for your presentation, 50% of your fear goes away. The other 50%, Jenny, will just wipe out.
There we go. I had a guy recently, literally, he would get up to present even at like a networking event, and he would just, and oh my gosh, we felt for the guy. And we worked with him, and he just won a speaking award.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
My God. So awesome. I love that. So yeah, so many times we've got these subconscious fears and worries, and we don't even realize it. We just know that when we try to do something, it's not working. We're avoiding it, or we're uncomfortable doing it, and so we don't. And when you grow a big business, you got to do some things that might be uncomfortable, like possibly a lot of things, right? Because so many people haven't done these things before.
Yeah. And it's, and it's funny because, and Jenny, the work that you do, I call you, I have her on the bat line. Like I call the bat phone. I'm like, hey, I am stuck in this pattern of thinking. And she's like, if any of you have not worked with Jenny, you really should, because we all have junk. I didn't get people like, no, I don't have any. You are in denial. Like there's no doubt. We are humans. If you're human and you're breathing, you got stuff that you need to get rid of. So I'll call Jenny and I'm like, I got this thing hanging out. And it's so funny. If you've worked with her, she's like, I can help you with that. Like, I want that to be your tagline. I can help you with that, because there isn't anything that she has not. I keep wanting to stump Jenny. I keep throwing stuff at you, Jenny. I'm like, all right, smarty pants, get rid of this. I'm like, son of a gun. How did that work? So I got off on a tangent. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you've got to do in your business. And in my opinion, I believe that it starts on the inside and then you get to do the outside. And that's why Jenny and I work so well together, because inside stuff needs to be taken care of, programs, patterns, how you're operating, truly, because it doesn't matter. I have been speaking over 30 years. I have been doing sales for just as long. When I started selling myself, you would have thought I'd never sold a thing in my life. And I could sell anything. And then I'd be like, I don't know, you pay like $1.50. Like I had no belief. It was just the oddest thing. And every time you add one more comma or one more zero onto the end of what you're making, there's another level of programming that shows up and can send you in a tailspin.
It's the perfect way to develop yourself. Try to become a multimillionaire, and you'll find all your blocks and you'll get to work through them. I love that. And you know how one reason I know what I do works so well, besides transforming my own life and my clients, my kids, literally, they'll text me like, my college roommate's foot is itching. Can you reprogram her? I'm like, seriously, yes, I can. I mean, that's not my specialty, making feet stop itching, but yes. I mean, we have all this subconscious stuff going on. We don't even realize it. Scientists say about 80% of our subconscious thoughts are negative, and 90% are a repeat of yesterday's thoughts. So you imagine trying to move ahead with that going on in between your ears and you don't even know about it. And then you wonder why. Why am I not following up? I know I should.
Yeah.
Well, because there's some unworthy, I can't get to that level of success something going on in the subconscious that needs clearing. So yeah,
it's so funny you say that, because the mere mortal looks at something and goes, I have a headache. Well, it must have been the pollen. It must have been, like, we look for environment, which I'm sure has a factor, but the reason we're a magnet to that environment is to be a catalyst to that symptom, which is a subconscious program. And it's funny because I've always looked at things a little differently, but now after meeting you, everything I look at, I'm like, oh, what have I done to myself? Like, I own all my own ailments, all my own stuff. And it's funny because we brush by those a lot of times. And I'm going to tell you, it's funny because as I've been working with you, Jenny, we know the road to millions is paved with good intentions, but also good programming.
Yeah.
And one thing I know about you, Jenny, that has just been something that is such a delight for me. I throw anything at Jenny. I'll be like, okay, you're going to get on 2 stages a month. And for those of you who are building a business, you want to be on 2 stages a month. You want to be on 2 platforms a month. And that is, you'll be growing your business. It'll decrease as you grow. But I throw anything and everything at Jenny, and she's like, oh, I got to reprogram for that. And then I'm not kidding you. She is doing it and getting the results. And you know that you're just so funny about things. Like, anything anybody has going on, you're like, yep, I can help with that. I think we, and the way we work together is because of the fact that people do have a fear of speaking. I take care of the practical. I roll out everything you need to deliver, but you still, like when I'm speaking, I'll be on stage and I have the little voice over here, and then I have a little critic over here. Well, why'd you say that? And I'm thinking, this one's telling me what to say, and this one's like criticizing. I'm like, oh, it is schizophrenic, this business. So the best thing to do is get some of the voice that is criticizing, or that is phenomenal. Did you say 90% of our thoughts are based on yesterday?
Yes, a repeat of yesterday. So how do you move forward, right? You're just stuck in the same old thinking.
That's Groundhog Day.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why people's businesses stay in that position where they're just grinding, like, wearing themselves out. Why can't they get to that next level, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they haven't hired you, but maybe they haven't hired me. It's probably both of those.
We both, like, I believe it does. It starts from the inside. Like, first you have that dream, then you have that desire, and then you must have the knowledge. But in order to gain the knowledge, you've got to clear out. There's a lot of clutter, like you're saying. There is so much that runs in our mind. It's funny. Denise and I, if you don't know Denise and I, I know you know Denise, Jenny, but for those of you viewing and the massive millions of you watching, Denise and I do what we call a data dump at the end of our day. And we'll be like, all right, do a data dump. Or she'll say, what were you just thinking? And it would have been like a minute. And I'll be like, well, I thought this. And it's like 400 thoughts that I'm aware of. But do you know, there are probably 80,000 more thoughts that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. 40 million per second are processed in your subconscious mind. It's ridiculous.
And it's painful, I'm sure. Now I'm tired.
Well, here's another thing. You got 10,000 new brain cells growing every day. And so are they rewiring to some new belief, or are they repatterning the old, locking in the old, unworthy, not good enough, can't get to that level belief? And
how do you determine that?
Yeah, you look at your life. Is it progressing? Is it peaceful, wonderful, calm, happy, successful, or are you stuck? That's how you determine it. You look at your life. It's a printout of your subconscious program. So where in your life is it not working? That's what needs to get reprogrammed.
And you know what? And Jenny, you're way too nice, but I'm going to say this because I'm not quite as nice as you. Here's what I know. We are in an industry that is all about what it looks like on the outside. And I know I've created 3 multi-million-dollar businesses, and I can tell you, it looks fabulous from the outside, and inside, oh, there is not one person on the planet that is in Zen making millions that I believe. Show me somebody, and I will happily say, nope, I was wrong. But this, and especially in our specific industry, coaches, consultants, experts, people that are out there that are serving others, it is a massive opportunity to generate. If you thought you were healthy, like you said, go hang a sign and become an entrepreneur. If you thought you were like had it all together, strive to build your own business, because it is you against the world, and it is a lonely industry, and you need a Jenny on speed dial, which I have. I wake Siri up and I'm like, get a call into Jenny, because you can't do this alone. You need the knowledge on the outside, but you need to clean up the inside. And I mean, I'm a firm believer. I've called Jenny from hot flashes to, I don't even know what, like food, anything, you name it, money, it doesn't matter, everything. And here's the beauty of it. A lot of people in any industry, even I work with corporate executives, they're not wanting to show their dirty laundry. The funny thing is there is nothing that you can hide from Jenny.
Well, there's nothing you want to hide, because here's what I think. Nothing is like wrong. It's a subconscious program that's blocking you that we need to reprogram. And
remember, Jenny, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was eating grape nuts and I sent Jenny a note, I don't know, some stupid image of, it was some joke around grape nuts. She goes, oh my gosh. And maybe I shouldn't be sharing. Maybe it was confidential. She's like, I got to reprogram out around grape nuts. I had to eat them soggy one time.
Yeah, I had a bad experience with them as a child. And it's like that stuff, you think it doesn't matter, but it sticks to you and it triggers stuff in your life. And, when I first got into this process and started all this subconscious self-discovery, I was mortified when I found out my self-esteem was low. I couldn't believe that could be the case, because I was so successful. How could my self-esteem be low? But then it made sense with everything going on in my life. Why was I so sensitive? Somebody could look at me wrong and I'd just be crushed. And I never understood what that was. And I now, when people work with us, I understand all their information is completely confidential. But I don't look at anybody or any of their stuff as bad or wrong. It's just, let's change it so it supports where you want to be. Because all that stuff you pick up when you're a kid, 0 to 8 years old, all your programming, all that stuff that's stuck in your head that's not serving you, like, wash it out, get it out of the way so you can move forward and succeed.
And it's an ongoing, I'm telling you, it is an ongoing process, because what you reprogram so quickly and effectively, and then it's like, if we are in action. So maybe here's the difference. I tend to run into these things, maybe because I'm just a little more screwed up than everybody. I don't know. But because I'm going 832 miles an hour every minute. And so when I'm going at that pace, I'm like, oh no, here's something else. If you're moving in your business, if you are out there doing what you should be doing, you should be a hot mess. Then you contact Jenny. I swear to God, if you are not a hot mess, you're not doing enough in your business to generate all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think about myself, I'm reprogramming myself every day. There's always something that comes up that I'm like, oh, that's hard. That's uncomfortable. That's complicated. That's frustrating. That's whatever it is. I need to reprogram that. And I think it is, because I'm moving so fast. Yes. Because you're saying do this to get to that success level you want. So I am. So I can't even imagine trying to do this without having these tools. Oh my gosh, I would be a hot mess. Or I wouldn't be moving as fast because I couldn't. You know, it would just be so stressful and difficult. I'd be home watching Netflix instead.
And you know what? You wouldn't. You don't watch any of that stuff. But and it is so true that people procrastinate and have shiny object syndrome. And that, in my opinion, I'm not the expert at the brain programming. I have mindset training, but I believe it is an avoidance behavior so that because what they're bumping up against is the programming that keeps them from doing what they need to do. So it is the procrastination. It is, oh, I got too many ideas. I can't, I'm not sure how to do this. It is because there is a block that is keeping them from stepping into what they would need to do in order to get to that success. Mary Morrissey, or I think it was Mary, used to talk about confusion. Confusion is not knowing what you need to know in order to do what you do. And we stay in confusion because if we don't, or procrastination, if we are out of that, we actually have to do it, and we might fail, or we might get a no, or we might get embarrassed, or we might fall down. People, I'm telling you, I have created businesses. I have fallen flat on my face, but you know how you handle it? It's like when I'm mountain biking. Oh my God. Because ego makes us successful. Ego keeps us moving forward. Ego keeps us standing up straight. And I go out mountain biking, and if I fall, I don't fall that often, but man, I took a spill one time. It was so bad. Went over the handlebars, and the only thing in my mind when I was going over those is, please don't die. And the next thought was, please don't let anyone have seen me. I stood up and I'm like, okay, looked like you meant to do that. I mean, I had a pool of blood in my shirt. I was a mess, and I was just like, all right, no one saw me. I can move on. And that's what we do in this business. But I'll tell you, your greatest success in your business comes from your greatest failures and admitting to them. Like, I am so transparent. I'm like, okay, I screwed up. Here's how I did it. And here's how you're not going to do it. That's what makes you millions. Being real. And the only way you can be real is get over your programs and over yourself. Get the talk, get the right program, get the right thing you're offering, and know how to sell. It's really a simple business. It's inside. And then, in my opinion, you got to know how to speak and sell, and then monitor the programs going on. So you and I, that's all anybody needs out there.
Absolutely. Double red heads and you're golden.
Exactly.
So they can learn more from us because we're doing an event together. You're going to be emceeing and speaking, and I'm going to be doing a lot of talking on reprogramming the mind for success. And it's coming up in October 3rd through the 5th in San Diego. It's a Thursday through Saturday. The website for the event is beyondlimits.live. And right now we've got an early bird special going. You basically get a 3-day ticket for free, which is crazy, right? All you need is a $197 refundable seat deposit. When you get there, you're going to get a check back, and you're going to be able to sit there for 3 days learning with Jane and I how to reprogram the mind, how to monetize your message, how to speak with confidence and sell with authority. Jane is also going to touch on her coding program, how to know different personalities and how to speak to them, which is so powerful. Did I interrupt you, Jane? You were going to say?
I was going to suggest put a comment. This is. I think you just got StreamYard. You're used to the other program. Put a comment. Put in the website for the event so people can be clicking on there. Do we have any comments or questions, or we're just going to talk over everybody if we want? So.
We're having too much fun talking over everybody, I think.
I also want to share the thing that is so important is everybody is out there doing 40 million different programs and different things. And what I like to call it is they become a yard sale. Like you're piecemealing so many different programs together that you're not even sure how to chain them together in order to get to the bank. So what I know what my philosophy is, and what Jenny and I are going to be teaching you is how to simplify your business, how to make it easy, how to make it painless, and how to be able to actually move into the activities that you should be doing. So Jenny's going to work on the inside. I believe in a philosophy, spend the biggest investment is in like a Jenny or myself, the right Jenny or myself. And the rest of it, you shouldn't be spending a ton of money. So what I like to teach people to do is get out there, speak for free, make a ton of money, and then start to pay to grow the structure, the technology, and everything you need behind your business. Jenny is, you're almost like when you go in on not a safari, but you go through the jungle. Jenny is the one with the machete cutting down all of the jungle leaves and everything so you can have a clear path. And then I'm the one who's going to help you, like you're going to be in the Jeep. I'm the Jeep. But it truly is about clearing the path and doing simple money-making activities that will ring the cash register over and over again. And I'm about immediate gratification. Jenny gets immediate gratification with reprogramming and the work that I do with you. So I would drop everything and get to the event.
And I love what you said about you don't need all the bright, shiny objects, because even, I'll hear of something and I'll be like texting you, Jane, should I get it? And you're like, no, you already have all the tools you need, So I love that. You're honest and straight up, and it's been such a joy working with you and learning from you. And I'm so excited that we're doing this event together because we're just going to have so much fun, and it's unique. I've been to a lot of events since I've met you, a lot of events, and I've never been to an event where they're actually teaching you how to reprogram your mind. And that, there's Think and Grow Rich and the magic of thinking big. I mean, it's no secret. There's the secret.
Oh, yeah.
Things about the law of attraction, but how do you change your belief? How do you change it at a cellular level? How do you do that? It's not just saying I'm successful, I'm a millionaire. That doesn't change your subconscious programming. So we're going to teach how to do that at this event. So it's going to be hands-on learning stuff. It's going to be amazing. So
it's going to be fun. And if it's not fun, both Jenny and I are leaving.
We're out of there.
You guys take care of the rest. We will be done. But
Absolutely.
Truly, drop everything you're doing. And if you are finding you have 1 or 5 excuses, call Jenny and she will reprogram your resistance to actually being successful. Because quite frankly, I've made a ton of people extremely successful. This last program, we did something a little bit differently. Jenny was a part of that. I saw people go from 0 to 6 figures in a matter of months, and it didn't cost them a whole bunch of widgets out in the world. And a lot of people that have been on that path worked with Jenny. So I love us both. I love us.
I love us too. High five, Coach.
High five. I don't know where you are. Boom. All right, everybody. We will see you at the event.
Yes, beyondlimits.live, October 3rd through the 5th. See you there.
Bye-bye.